triple integration. In previous class, we have studied double integration. Now, in this lecture, we will learn triple integration. Before that, we will discuss the following Cartesian system. There are three types of Cartesian system. One is Cartesian coordinate Cartesian system. Coordinate system are Cartesian coordinates, spherical coordinates, cylindrical coordinates. Actually, we will study first Cartesian coordinates only. Cartesian coordinates means only x, y, z axis, only three axes in three-dimensional. If you want to find out the volume of any spherical or cylindrical or Cartesian coordinates system, then we have to apply triple integration to find out the volume of any system. Then you have to apply triple integration, because triple integration we have to apply in according to x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Three axis will be x. Suppose take a point O on the space. Draw the mutually perpendicular through O. O is known as the origin, and these three lines are known as x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. There are three coordinate planes. That means x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Suppose O is the origin, then if we take any point P, then we can join PQ and QS, Q another point QR. Then if this PQ revolve means make a three-dimensional volume system, then we can calculate the volume of that revolve bodies of PQ. Now xy plane what? This is actually xy plane passing through the x-axis and y-axis is known as x plane. That means y will be 0 for the x plane. Similarly, yz plane will be what? Y-axis and z-axis. But x coordinate will be 0 for that yz plane. Similarly, zx plane what will be? The plane passing through z-axis and x-axis is known as zx plane. Similarly, this is the actually spherical coordinates. We can transform Cartesian coordinates to spherical coordinates. In the adjoining figure, join OP. If we join OP, then there is an angle with z-axis theta, and if we join OQ, then this OQ makes another angle pi. So the coordinates becomes r theta pi of a point P known as, this is actually spherical coordinates, r theta pi. R theta pi of a point P known as spherical coordinates, where z equals to PQ. Z equals to what? PQ equals to what? OT, parallel and perpendicular, parallel lines of PQ. So the OT equals to what? Actually cos. Along the axis will be OP into cos theta, r cos theta, and PT equals to r sin theta. This is why we can denote the coordinates x equals to r sin theta cos phi, y equals to r sin theta sin phi, z equals to r cos theta. This is actually derived spherical coordinates from Cartesian coordinates system. Similarly, cylindrical coordinates can be denoted by x equals to rho cos phi, y equals to rho sin phi, z equals to z. This is actually cylindrical coordinates, where rho equals to square root x square plus y square, and phi equals to what will be tan inverse y by x, z equals to z. This is actually Jacobian. We will study in later. This is Jacobian partial differentiation with respect to x, y, partial differentiation of x, y, z with respect to rho phi z. Rho phi z means what? This is this constant in cylindrical system. This is the determinant of del del x rho, del del f phi, del del z, and this is the y, this is the z coordinate. And if we put the values from this differential values. Actually, this is the differentiation, partial differentiation with respect to x, with respect to rho, with respect to phi, and respect to z. From this, we can put this value. Then we get this equals to z equals to what, rho. So dx dy dz equals to z into d rho dy dz. Similarly, dx dy dz equals to can be written as this. In actually triple integration, we can write this in cylindrical coordinates. Dx dy z equals to can be written as r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. Remember it. This is the cylindrical coordinate system. Dx dy dz can be written as after Jacobian. This is the Jacobian formula. Then the Cartesian coordinates dx dy dz only. Okay, but in spherical coordinates, you have to remember that spherical coordinates dx dy dz can be written as this: r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. Similarly, cylindrical dx dy dz rho d rho d phi dz. You have to remember this. Now, what is triple integration? Actually, this is the definition, most important definition for us. Let a function f of x, y, z be a continuous at every point of a finite region S of three-dimensional, and this region will be, of course, three-dimensional space. Consider n subspaces. From this whole space, we can consider small space. Okay, del s1, del s2, del s3 dot dot del sn of the spaces. If x r, y r, and z r be a point of the Rth space, this is the actually Rth space point, then the limit of sum are equals to 1 to n. If we take the product of this function and del sr are equal del sr if tends to 0 and n tends to infinity for n very large, okay, then this is known as triple integration of f of x, y, z over the space S, and symbolically denoted by triple integration this over space S f of x, y, z multiplied with ds. It can be calculated. X1 to x limit will be what? X1 to x2, y limit will be y1 to y2, and z limit will be z1 to z2. Then f of x, y, z multiplied with these three smallest, very small distance along x-axis dx, along y-axis dy, and along z-axis is dz. This is the actually definition, and this can be written as like this. We have to arrange.
So definition, it can be calculated as পর্যন্ত লিখতে হবে না?
Yes. Okay. Just this up to this led to this z. Okay. This is the definition of triple integration, and of course, uses and application of triple integration you must collect from internet. You can search Google and collect from different books. Now we'll discuss a example. Example triple integration over the region R. Okay, example 1, this is the triple integration over the region R. Function of three-dimensional function will be x, y, z and dx, dy, dz, where the region R is defined as x lies between 0 and 1, okay, y lies between 1 and 2, and z lies between 2 and 3. Now the solution will be 0 to 1 dx, 1 to 2 dy, 2 to 3, this will be function dz. That means this is the x values, x limit, and this is the y limit, and this is the z limits. So this is the fxy, okay, fxyz function only. Now we can find the integration with respect to z, integration taking integration with respect to z. Now if we want to integration with respect to z, this is actually what will be. We have to take it as x, okay, only x, because all are variable. If we take this as variable, x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, right? Understand? X to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Now half this n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, but the coefficient of z is 1. This is why no need to divide with the coefficient. So this is the limit 2 and 3. Now have 0 to 1 and 1. This is the x limit and y limit, and this is the dy, and only function will be becomes x plus yz plus 3 whole square, just after putting the value of 3, and minus after putting the value of 2 of z, upper limit and lower limit in replace of z, because this limit of for only z. Now have 0 to 1 dx 1 to 2. This is the function just after calculating. How we calculate this? A plus b plus c whole square formula, right? This is also a plus b plus c whole square formula. That means a square plus b square plus c square plus twice ab plus twice bc plus twice ca. Then taking addition and subtraction, we get this only, right? This comes
Okay.
from how? Just applying the formula of a plus b plus c whole square. Then we get twice x plus twice y plus twice y. You can practice and test whether it will right or not. This is the differentiation of y now with respect integration of this with respect to y. Now this is also formula of what? X to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Same formula. Just dividing with the coefficient of what? Y. Y coefficient what was? 2. This is why this 2 and 2 becomes 4.
4.
Now 4 to 8. Now this just putting the upper limit and lower limit in replace of y. Then the after calculating this become twice x plus 9 whole square, right? And twice x plus 7 whole square. So a plus b whole square and a plus b whole square. After putting this formula, we get this one only. Then with respect to x only, right? Then taking common 4, we get x plus 4. This integration will be x plus x square by 2 and 4x only. Then putting the limit of x, upper limit of x minus lower limit of x equals to 0, then we get this one. This is the actually result for you. This is the triple integration. Very easy. Just first of all, we have to take the integration with respect to z. Then after putting the limit values of z, then we will find the integration of with respect to y.
Y.
Then putting the limit values of y, then we will integrate that function with respect to x. Understand? First of all, z with respect to z, then with respect to y, then with respect to x. We get the final values. Try to practice at home. I hope everybody can do this. Find the integrals of this. X limit will be what? 0 to log 2. Y limit will be 0 to 0 to x, and z limit what? 0 to x plus log y. And the region or function will be e to the power x plus y plus z dz dy dx. Now this is the given triple integration. Now first of all, we have to divide this into 3 parts. One e to the power x into e to the power y into e to the power z. Just e to the power x into e to the power y into dy, e to the power z into dz. Now we can calculate this is the x limit into e to the power x, y limit into e to the power y and dy, and this is the actually e to the power z formula with respect to z. E to the power z formula, e to the power z, right? No change. E to the power z formula, e to the power z. Now putting the limit within third bracket. Upper limit is x plus log y and lower limit is 0. Then putting the values with respect in replace of z, e to the power x plus log y minus e to the power 0, right? E to the power 0 means only 1. E to the power 0 means only y. Now we can write this as e to the power log y, e to the power x minus 1. But e to the power log y can be written as only y, single y. E log can be cancelled according to the logarithm properties. E log y can be written as only y. So this y to e to the power x minus 1. Now with respect to y, remember it. With respect to y, we have to integrate this multiplied function. Now this is the x term, limit of x, and this is the x function. Now we have to integrate this how we will integrate this with respect to this u and b, u and b, u into b, u into differential integration of b e to the power y integration e to the power y minus differentiation of this what? Differentiation of this with respect to y will be e to the power x only, right? E to the power x. 1 will be 0 and y equals to 1. Y formula what? Y form dx differentiation of y with respect to y what? 1. This is why only e to the power x, right? Then differentiation of this into integration of e to the power y what? E to the power y. Okay. Then putting the limit 0 to x. This is the actual value of y. Now 0 to log 2 e to the power x dx. Now putting the values of x in replace of y. In replace of y, we get this one, and integrating this e to the power x, x plus y. Integrating e to the power y formula e to the power y. This is why e to the power x plus y same. Now putting the upper limit x and lower limit 0, we get this one. Then after calculate this multiplication, right? Multiplicating, we get this one. Now this is the limit of x 0 to log 2 e to the power x dx. Now multiplying e to the power x, we get this only, this 3 term. Now integrating this with respect to x. With respect to x, what will be ub process? This will be the x into e to the power 3x will be ub process. X will be u, e to the power thrice x will be b. The u into integration of b, a differentiation of x into integration of b. Okay. Now this is the integration of e to the power 3x by 3. Dividing with the coefficient of x. We have to divide with the coefficient of x. E to the power x formula e to the power x, but we have to divide with the coefficient of x. Now e to the power x formula with respect to x, e to the power x only. Just putting the limit within third bracket, upper limit is log 2 and lower limit is 0. This is the value of x. Now putting the value of x in this integration, but we have to complete first this integration. What will be e to the power 3 thrice x by 3 formula? E to the power thrice x in integration, what will be e to the power thrice x, but we have to divide with the coefficient of x. That means this will become 9. Then putting the limits, upper limits putting, then minus lower limit. Lower limit means 0. E to the power 0 means 0. E to the power 0 means 1. E to the power 0 means 1. E to the power 0 means 1. This is why we get this one. Now e log means you must know will be cancelled. Log 2 divided by 3. E log 2 cube means only 3, right? E log 2 means 2 cube. E log 2 means only 2 cube. E log 2 cube. This is only e log will be cancelled. Only 2 cube. That means 8 will be exist. 8 by 9. So this 8 by 3. E log 2 means only 2, right? Then the 1 by 9 plus 1 by 3 minus 1. Then calculating, we get this one. This one the actually result. Now the next example 3, evaluate 0 to a log 2, 0 to x, 0 to x plus y. The functional value is e to the power x plus y plus z. This is the dx, dy, dz. This is the x limit, and this is y limit, and this is z limit. Now the given integrals can be written as 0 to log 2, 0 to x, e to the power x plus y, just e to the power z. E to the power z formula what? E to the power z integration. E to the power z integration, e to the power z with respect to z, then putting the limit within third bracket, then dx dy. Now 0 to log 2, 0 to x, e to the power x plus y. This is actually e to the power x plus y minus 1 after putting the upper limit and lower limit. Lower limit e to the power 0 in replace of z. This is the value of z. First putting x plus y in replace of z, then e to the power x plus y minus, then putting value of z is equal to 0, e to the power 0. E to the power 0 means 1. After multiplying, we get this one, e to the power x plus y, e to the power x plus y, what will be e to the power twice x plus y, and 1 into e to the power x plus y will be e to the power x plus y. Now this is into two parts. we have to take integration with respect to y. This is the we have to integrate with respect to y. Now with respect to y, how e to the power x formula? E to the power x, right? E to the power x, but we have to divide with the coefficient of what? Y. Coefficient of y will be only 2. This is why only dividing with the 2. Then e to the power x plus y formula, e to the power x plus y, same. Then taking third bracket and put the upper limit 0, x and lower limit 0. This is the value of y. Remember it. We have found the integration with respect to y. This is why this is the value of y. Now putting the value of x in upper limit in the place of y, only in the place of y. Remember it. So e to the power twice x and e to the power twice x will become e to the power 4x, and this will be e to the power x into e to the power x. So e to the power twice x. Only e to the power twice x. Now putting 0 in the place of y, e to the power twice x divided by 2, because e to the power 0 means what? 1. Then e to the power y in the place of y, if we put 0, e to the power 0 means what? 1. This is why only it's become only e to the power x. There is a minus before putting y equals to 0. This is why this becomes plus and this becomes minus. Now taking the integration with respect to x. Okay, just e to the power x formula, e to the power x. Then dividing with the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x what? 4. 4 into 2, 8. Now e to the power twice x means e to the power twice x formula, e to the power x. So dividing with the coefficient of x, 2. Now e to the power twice x formula, e to the power twice x integration with respect to x. So dividing with the coefficient 2, then these two become 4. So e to the power x formula, e to the power x. Now putting the limits.
सर नेक्स्ट क्लास शुरू होने टाइम सर
Okay, just putting the value 0. Upper limit log 2 and lower limit 0. Then putting we get this result. Actually this is the 5 by 8 will be the result. Very easy for you. Now example 4, this is the triple integration over the region. The function is x square plus y square plus z square dx dy dz, and are denoted by the region x equals to 0, y equals to 0, z equals to 0, and total x plus y z equals to a, where a is greater than 0. That means a is the non positive, a is the positive. So the triple integration can be written as like this, where the condition x plus y plus z equals to a. Then from z equals we can write this z equals to a minus x minus y from the given condition. Upper limits of z will be this. Okay, on the xy plane, x plus yz becomes x plus y equals to a only after putting z equals to what? 0. After putting z equals to 0 in xy plane, we must know in xy plane z equals to 0. This is why x plus y equals to a. As shown in the figure, upper limits of y equals to this and upper limits of x will be a. Okay, now limit of x will be 0 to a, and limit of y will be 0 to a minus x. Limit of y will be 0 to a minus x. Then limit of z will be what? Z equals to 0 to this a minus x minus y. We have to find out the limits first. Now we can draw a geometrical interpretation of this region. This is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. If we x equals to a, this is the point x equals to a, and here in each point y equals to 0, right? And this is the curve x plus y equals to a. Okay, cutting x plus y equals to a. This is the part. You can divide it into very smallest area, rectangular area. We can divide it into different parts. This is actually this black area is the very smallest area of this region. We have to find. We are finding this whole area by applying triple integration. Okay, this is the x equals to 0. Now x limit will be 0 to a, and y limit will be 0 to a minus x. Okay, y limit will be y equals to what? A minus x. This is why y limit will be 0 to a. And z limit what will be? Z equals to a minus x minus y. These two limits we are finding from this graph. Geometrical interpretation. Now the function this. Now if we integrate this with respect to z, x square z, y square z, and this is z cube by 3. Okay. Now putting upper limit minus into lower limit, we get this one. Okay. Now we have to find out the integration with respect to y. Now integrating these three terms with respect to y, we get x square into a minus x. This is the x square y, and y square a minus x into y square minus y cube, this way, just arranging. Now integrating with respect to y, this will be only y. Okay, this is the whole constant. When we take integration with respect to y, this will become only constant. This why only integration of 1 with respect to y will be y. So this will be x square y square by 2 only, and this is also y cube by 3. Okay, integration. This is also y 4 by 4, integration with respect to y. Then this will be total x to the power n formula, n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. N plus 1 means what? 4. 4 multiply 3, what? Only 12. Now the putting upper limit and lower limit within third bracket. This is the value of y. Putting upper limit y equals to a minus x in our given values. Then lower limit will be 0 in replace of y. This is the value of y, remember it. Well, not value of x. So in replace of y, putting a minus x. Okay. If we put y equals to 0, this will become 0, this becomes 0, this whole 0, and whole will be 0, except this one. Okay. Putting y equals to 0, a minus x to the power 4 divided by 12. This is the this term comes from putting 0, but this whole comes from putting y equals to what? A minus x. Now after simplifying, we are finding this, then making this integration with respect to x, so this equals actually a minus b whole square formula, square minus 2a plus b square, then multiplying with x square, we get this one. Then this is the only function. Then then integration can be taking easily. So this integration x cube by 3, and this integration x to the 4 by 4, and this is x 5 by 10. Okay, and multiplying with half, we'll get 10. Then x to by n formula, n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. N plus 1 means 5. 5 means multiply 6, only 30 we get. So we after putting the limit of x, upper limit a and lower limit 0. This is the value of x, remember it. Now, putting x equals to a in this whole term, we get this one. Putting x equals to 0, we get only last term. Okay, actually a to the power 5 by 20 is the final result. Very easy. I hope if you do practice, you can do easily. Now similar process, example 5. This is the last example today. Triple integration. The function is the x plus y plus z plus I whole to the power cube. This is actually 1. This is not I. X plus y plus z plus 1 whole to the power cube. If the region of the integration is bounded by the coordinate planes and the plane this x plus y plus z equals to 1. Now the region can be taken as z equals to, we can write z equals to 1 minus x minus y. Okay, just look like before example. Y can be taken as in yz plane, 0 lies between 1 minus x, and x lies between 0 to 1. Then we can make this triple integral into this. This is the x limit, this is the y limit, and this is the z limits. Look like before. In replace of a equals to 1 here. In this integration, a equals to 1. In example 4, the constant was only a. Now the functional value is this. We have to take integration with respect to z. Now x to the power n formula. N means what? X plus y plus z plus 1 whole to the power minus 3. This is actually, we can write in exponent form x plus y plus z plus 1 whole to the power minus 3. X to the n formula, n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Putting this, and this is the integration. Upper limit will be 1 minus x minus y, and lower limit will be 0. Now putting this is the value of z, remember it. Putting the value of z, upper limit we get this. Lower limit 0 putting, we get this one. Now we get this. This is the result. Xy will be cancelled. So this is now taking integration with respect to y for this 1 by 4 into y, right? Then this will become only 1 by 1 x plus y plus 1 integration of this. How will do integration? X plus y plus 1 whole to the power minus 2, and minus 2 will be when this is why x plus y plus 1 to the power minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1. That means x to the power n formula of integration. So we get 1 by x plus y plus z minus minus plus. This is the y limits. Now x limit this. Now putting the upper limit 1 minus x in replace of y, minus in replace of y, putting y equals to 0. We get this one. So after calculating, we get this. Now just integrating with respect to x, we get this 1 by x plus 1 formula log x plus 1, 1 by x formula log x. This is y. Now putting the limit, upper limit 1 in replace of x and lower limit 0 in replace of x, we get the integration. Now we will do homework. This 6 will be homework for you. You will try it at home. And 7 will be homework for you. I hope everybody will do practice and